How to Be Orange, Chapter 17, Overcrowding, Overpaying. The quote, Wie parkeert betaalt. Cityon ad campaign. Good news, planet. I'm sharing a car. Bad news, we're now playing a game called How Many Times Over Can You Pay to Park Your Car? So far, the answer is 5. Nederland is indeed a densely populated country. Living in most Dutch cities is like living in Manhattan. A car is largely a liability, as parking is expensive. But since my father-in-law lives in our building, we decided to try car sharing. That is, we told him, we're sharing your car. Simple. With my wife and kids, we find ourselves using the car once every 2 weeks on average. My father-in-law uses it even less. When the time came to buy a new car, we thought, why not do it together? Since I use the car for work, we decided to put the car in my name. Again, seemed like the appropriate thing to do. We got the car home and felt like celebrating until we remembered the parking permit. It was still registered with the old car. In America, I think I'd have just kept the same license plates and physically placed them onto the new car. But here, that's not the case. To switch the old parking permit to the new car, we'd have to visit the service center for the Cityon parking company. Until then, we'd have to pay an hourly rate to park, just like everyone else. In our neighborhood, it's about €3 per hour collected by the Cityon parking company. Number of times we were now paying to park the car, 2. Luckily, my parking app has no problem accepting a new license number. I was using Parkline. We had no problem until problem A. Cityon Service Center says you can't switch the parking permit to another owner, even if you're sharing the car. There is apparently some logic to this plan, but all I understand is that I'm now paying an hourly rate to park the new car while we're still paying a monthly rate to park the old car that is now somewhere outside of Amsterdam. We talked to the supervisor. Surely this kind of thing has happened before. Surely they're not discouraging us from removing a car from the overcrowded neighborhood. Surely they're not punishing us for doing the right thing. Oh, but the punishment had only just begun. Problem B. It turned out that my father-in-law had also turned on his parking app, Parkmobile. Number of times we were now paying for the car to park it was 3. You may know Cityon Parking Services for their recent ad campaign, Wie parkeert betaalt, if you park, you pay. Their job is to collect revenue for the city, but apparently business is so good, they actually have enough money left over for an outdoor advertising campaign, just to restate the obvious. I'm also in the business of sometimes buying ad routes, and I happen to know that these outdoor advertising campaigns cost thousands of euros per week. Cityon had been hired by the city to enforce the parking rules, but as they love to point out, they don't make the rules. That would be the Stadsdeel and the city council. Just as we were considering an appeal to the city, a new outdoor ad campaign popped up, this time from the Stadsdeel and the city council. The campaign was all about keeping our neighborhoods greener and creating more space for walking and biking by removing cars. We checked back with the supervisor at Cityon. Had the policy changed to help us promote car sharing? Not yet. But again, the outdoor campaign looked fabulous. I have a friend on the Amsterdam City Council, and I asked his counsel. His advice was this: good luck. I've tried to tell the registry I moved, but they keep sending post to my old address. It turns out that the easiest solution was to change the ownership of the car back to my father-in-law, negating half the reason for getting a new car in the first place. And while we were waiting for the paperwork to go through, we noticed a jolly little conference of Cityon agents partying around our car. They were abuzz with chatter about how many parking tickets they could put on one windshield before the schlemiel of an owner would notice. I joined my father-in-law in running over to the parking party to protest. We're already paying to park. We're paying 3 times over. Problem C. Parking apps only work if you type in the correct license number. It seems your smartphone is only as smart as you were frustrated when you typed in the details. And my father-in-law had typed in the wrong license number. We had 3 parking fines. The number of times we were now paying to park the car, 4. To review, We were paying a monthly fee for a car we no longer own, hourly from the right phone, hourly from the wrong phone, 3 times parking fines for the wrong license number, and hourly for a car somewhere with 1-letter difference from ours. Wherever you are, KLV92X, you're welcome. And congratulations to Citizen for all your extra revenue. Will they reinvest the money in improving their common sense infrastructure? Nah. But hopefully, they can afford a nice new redundant ad campaign.